And Greg, I'll start with you because in knowing how difficult it is to make that run to even get to a finals one time, think about just the idea that anyone, I don't care what era or who's playing, to do it 5 consecutive seasons.
It's an incredible accomplishment when you factor in all that goes into accomplishing it, right? You know, you deal with adversity, with help, with defections, with new players, the mental toll that it takes because you have that bullseye on your back. And there's a reason why we haven't seen it done since the 60s. It's been incredible. And then, you know, this game was kind of a microcosm of the run, right? No Andre Iguodala, no Kevin Durant, no DeMarcus Cousins. And you go out and you get a historic performance from Portland. You know, Myers Leonard with an incredible first half. Steph Curry plays 47 minutes in this game. Draymond was brilliant as well. And they didn't quit. And it wasn't just their stars who were terrific, but Looney, McKinney, Bell, all these guys played a role. All of them made big plays down the stretch that allowed them. Their defense was phenomenal as well down the stretch in this game. And it's just, you know, you don't have enough words to really give what's proper in terms of the context that the Warriors deserve. I mean, arguably the greatest team we have ever seen. You know, think about the guys who didn't play in this game today. Think about that.
You mentioned Boogie Cousins. I was like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, Boogie's on this team.
Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible run, man, and for the resiliency, because it's easy to let this one go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Go home.
It's
right?
easy. We'll finish it up at home, but they refuse. And Steve Kerr sent the message. No, Steph, you're going to play this whole second half. We're not, and overtime for that matter. And they found a way, man. It was, and that was a hell of a game. Like that was. Arguably, I had the pleasure to do Game 7 with Toronto and Philly, and that was an incredible game. Yeah. This is arguably the best game we've had in the postseason, and we've had a lot of really good ones, but this game, it had everything. And wow, what a way to end it on the road in overtime in the closeout.
Yeah, we'll talk a lot about Portland on this show, so I want to get to, because I was saying this to Channing watching the end of the game, I can give a lot of credit. The compete level, the fight, which certainly is what they follow in their leader in Dame Lillard. But having seen this up front on the court and knowing how good this group can be, I remember telling you about this pregame, and now I got to ask it again. When you look at what Steph and Dre, is this, in some ways, it seems like the list of, oh, they've impressed me was over. There's nothing else on the list.
Yeah.
But is in some ways what they're doing, the level that Steph has raised to since KD's gone out, actually added another notch onto the list of where you see him in terms of his legacy.
Yeah, I think he just becomes one of the greatest teammates of all time.
Yeah.
If you're that
leaders,
good,
right?
If you could just turn it on like that and not only do it one game, not 2, not 3, but 4 against that level of competitor you're playing in Portland, it shows you how good he is. That he could just flip a switch and become, oh, you were the greatest player? Now I'm the greatest player playing the game right now. And so that's what's amazing. And while, you know, obviously, you know, we've been competitors, now I'm on this side, I just have to sit back and be like, this is amazing to watch. That is such good basketball, and the way he's passing and rebounding, and he's playing good ball, and that's like, it's exciting to watch.
Well, I think he's the only second player ever to score at least 35 in
4 straight games. That's right.
Like that in and of itself is a huge accomplishment. And they just, as a team, and he obviously as an individual, continue to rewrite the history books, with what they've accomplished. And again, it's hard to impress upon people how impressive it is to go to 5 consecutive finals. I mean, that's incredible. Like for a team, again, the mental toll, because they played a couple extra seasons in essence over this run, you know, and then mentally, the anxiety, the intensity, the focus that you need. You've played in multiple finals.
The need to want to win.
Right.
Like,
hunger,
why does this matter?
Right.
You know, like their intensity is ridiculous. And if you look, we were talking about halftime, how hard he has to work for every possession. And this man plays 47 minutes, right? And does that consistently. And he's been doing that over 5 seasons. And to do it as a championship shows not only how committed he is to this game, but to himself and to his teammates. And, you know, we talk about Steph and we talk about, you know, Draymond, but just the way that their whole team plays for each other. When guys come in, I was saying, listen, Alfonso McKinney, what? No offense, but like this is a championship level team in a closeout game, and he comes in and gives you huge rebounds, and they're all prepared, all ready, all locked in. That's a matter of what are your leaders doing on a consistent basis, and what they've shown them is a championship level of playing ball.
Yeah, maybe no better example of that than Kevon Looney. We'll talk about during this show because again, fantastic. But I got to go back to Steph because I hate the rhetoric of, well, they're better without Kevin. Look, Kevin Durant is one of the greatest players ever when we talk about his skill set, and he is the unicorn, no offense to Porzingis. But do you think, GA, in some ways, because it is difficult to match the hunger of year 1, 2, I mean, think about how many years in a row we're talking about this. Did it turn a different switch for this core group when they lost KD in terms of having to lock in a different way and refocus? That has energized, because they do look like, from an energizing standpoint, that focus is turned. Is it fair to say that? It's not an anti-KD thing,
right.
But is that a fair assessment?
Honestly, I think it helped them to lose KD and Cousins. And it sounds weird to say that, but it helped them because of what you just said. Because now we have to rally.
Right?
Yeah. We got to rally around what we have if we want to have a chance, right? Because now you don't go into it with the same level of expectation. Now there's more doubt. There's more uncertainty. It gives confidence to others when you don't have those guys. And so sometimes it allows your team to kind of rally around the fact that those guys aren't there. And you're right, it does. It unleashed Steph. And, I mean, he was incredible, but their team, they are the consummate team. The way they play for one another, the way nothing rattles them. And this is where, having gone through all they've gone through over the last 4 years, now 5 years, helps in these moments. How many times have we seen them in this exact same moment, where their back was against the wall, where they had to make the plays down the stretch in order to win it? It wasn't a scenario where the other team just gave it to them. They had to make big plays in this game, offensive rebounds, big shots. Draymond hits that huge three there to almost seal the deal for him. In essence, it did seal it. So, you got to tip your cap and appreciate this. And as fans of basketball, people go their whole life and never experience this, right? You had the Jordan generation where they got the 6 and 8 years, and now you're having the Warrior generation where you're going to have all these fans, all these young people grow up watching the game played this way. What an opportunity to have that happen if you're a young person right now.
Yeah, and look, I think when you look at styles of basketball, I know Rockets fans don't want to hear this. This is a brand of basketball. If you love the game and you play the game like the two of you guys did your whole life, we have kids. You want people to see. And that's the thing. They miss shots, right? Oh, yeah. They were down 17. But how many times do they take the bad shot? Even the guys that come in, they don't. You saw Looney on the Draymond play. Yeah. And look, he was being baited in to take one. Never even a thought. No. Make the right play. Make the Clay. Not going to take a tough shot. Extra little pass to Draymond. There's something about that that's just fun to watch. Not that they weren't doing that with KD, but he's a great safety valve. Anytime you can go to him, he can get a bucket, Channing, and they don't have that right now.
No, I think what happens when, we talked about it, is like when you don't have KD and DeMarcus, sometimes you rely on that talent. Like, you don't need the best of me. You just need my points or my rebounds. Really don't matter because you have DeMarcus is going to play. Now, Coach played 14 people. So everybody needs to be ready, and everybody contributed. So you're like, man, I got to be ready to go because Coach might need me in this situation today. I was talking about Quinn Cook. I was like, man, he had some big shots to get them the momentum and get them back. I think it was tied up or close. And I was like, if Kevin Durant's playing, is Quinn Cook going to get that ball? Nope. We're giving it to Kevin Durant. If it's not Kevin, it's Steph. If it's not Steph, it's Clay. And then to talk about how they play good basketball, they take the right shots, even if they've missed a bunch. I was looking at Clay. He had missed, I think, 4 or 5, but he continued to shoot because it was the right shot. And he knew if he didn't take that shot, it would ruin his team's momentum. So sometimes, even if you're not having a great night, you got to take the right shot for your team to give them a chance to get the offensive rebound.
And to your point, Casey, about shot quality, like that, their second team, they're 11 of 23 or 12 of, what was it? No, I'm sorry, 13 of 23 from the field. Mm-hmm. They were a collective plus 22 in the game. So their bench was huge tonight. And part of that is because they're collective, and I've said this before, Golden State's collective basketball IQ is really in uncharted territory. You just don't see a group of guys who have an understanding and appreciation of how the game's supposed to be played, and to Channing's point, where the shots are supposed to come from, where I'm supposed to be in relation to where the basketball is at all times, the understanding the importance of setting good quality screens, knowing how to play without the basketball. Now, the advantage they have is their best players, all three of them, when you put Durant out there, and actually say they're 5 best players, because then you got to also throw Iguodala out. They're all great without the basketball offensively. And that's what separates them from everybody else in this league, is the ability, when your great players play without the basketball, when they know how to move and cut and screen and space, like, your shot quality goes through the roof. You know, and when they all know it, that means you're rarely going to get caught where you have possessions where guys are taking shots they shouldn't. Like, you never see them roll their eyes at guys, because they understand the game on the same level and they play accordingly, man. And it puts so much pressure on you. And you do tip your hat to Portland. I don't know that Portland could have played a better basketball game.
No.
No, and they didn't run away at all.
No. And listen, they had a shot.
Portland went back and forth with them, right?
They had a shot at the end to win the game.
They did.
So, like, they and listen, and this is a Portland team that is undermanned.
Yes.
Listen, it's a hell of an accomplishment. This is not necessarily
It's
a
great
conference
season
final.
I mean, this is a great season.
Listen, if you broke down the Western Conference, they're not the second best team in the Western Conference.
No.
But you know what? You play the cards you're dealt. They got to the conference finals, and you have to applaud them for that.
You know, if we get a chance to hear from Terry Stotts after the loss.
Championship pedigree. We played them 3 really good games and couldn't get over the hump. But I think it was more of a demonstration of how good they are and how good they've been over the years, and they find ways to win. So it was a disappointing loss, but it was for me, it was an outstanding season with. The guys in the locker room are special, and it's been a special season. It's always tough to lose the last game of the year, but I couldn't be more proud of the group that we've had.
Kerry Eggers, Portland Tribune. And Terry, you got another great performance from Myers Leonard tonight. Talk a little bit about that.
Again, he the first half was outstanding. I mean, 25 points, and he was playing with a lot of confidence. Certainly had an impact on the game, much like Game 3. And you know, again, we needed him. He played well, and I'm happy for him.
Terry, Mark Schwartz, ESPN. Your group has shown so much toughness and fight against adversity all season long, including the last 3 games. When you mentioned championship pedigree, what about that championship pedigree did you see that helped them overcome these double-digit deficits in the second half every time?
Well, they have a confidence about them. They feel like they're never out of a game, and they have the experience, and they've done it before. So, I mean, Draymond Green hitting a 3. I mean, Draymond carried him in Game 3 last game, you know, with his energy and his spirit. Defensively, they're experienced. They know how to make things difficult for opponents. They help each other. They pass. They trust each other. And I think it's when they have been rewarded year after year after year with that style of play, there's a reason to trust it.
Jamie Goldberg with the Oregonian. Terry, Damian Lillard obviously was playing through an injury through the series, but the game he had tonight, what does it mean for you to see the way he was able to play in this game to try to get you guys past the Warriors?
I've said it many times, Damian's not only is a special player, but he's a special person. And he's a great competitor, and he hates to lose and wants to do whatever it takes to win a game. And I think the way he competed tonight was a demonstration of that.
Dwight Jaynes, NBC Sports Northwest. Terry, what about this playoff run is going to help you guys moving forward, say, next year? What are you going to take away from this, do you think?
I think it's more than just the playoff run. You know, I think the fact that we had a very good regular season. The fact that we were able to win 2 series, we were very competitive in this series. Even though it was a sweep, we played competitively. But I think that's a long way away from now. I think when that time comes, we'll be able to reflect. I think it's a little too early to look at how this series helps us right now. Right now, it kind of stings.
Anyone else? There's some back leads on the left.
Kevin Pelton, ESPN.com. When Dame put up that final shot, did you think it was going to be another miracle?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was gonna kind of meant to be, but you know, when he shot it, had good arc. Yeah, I thought it had a chance.
You're in the center on the left, please.
Kerry Eggers again. Terry, what 3.3 seconds? What kind of play did you want? What did you draw up?
Well, we had another timeout. I mean, that was Dame and CJ come off curls. If they switched it, Myers could slip down the lane. You know, getting Dame the ball over there was the first look, and if they screwed up a switch, maybe we get Myers going down the lane.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
The Portland Trailblazers, valiant effort, not able to get past Golden State, and the sweep is complete for the Dubs. Terry Stotts and Portland, congrats on everything that they accomplished. We've got more on Game Time coming.
What do you serve up when that no-name charcoal burns out early? Chicken tartare? Choose the charcoal worth your flame. Fast as lightning, long as burning, for the way barbecue should taste. Kingsford.
Who are you? I am failure. Failure? I thought I defeated you. Perhaps. But more success.